supporting 4FID on a fuel mission and a mission to take troops to the Baghdad International Airport. On that convoy, I was the middle vehicle. I had 8 passengers on the back of my 5-ton. And 3 to 5 minutes into my convoy, I was hit by an explosion. Direct impact to my face, hole the size of a golf ball. Who would believe it, right? Standing here looking at you, talking to you today. From that initial onset of impact, my chin was down to my chest. I had no idea my injuries. My adrenaline was pumping, emotions going, didn't know what happened, fighting the wheel. I got passengers on the back. What in the world is going on? You don't know at that moment, but you know you're more concerned about the people that you're responsible for than what's happening with you. And in a split second, I was able to keep the vehicle on the road. Thank God, because I definitely did not want to have to explain to anyone why their loved ones did not make it to that destination at the airport. And so from that point on, I still didn't even realize that I was injured because I was running to the rear of the vehicle looking to do a head count. You're responsible for everybody that you have in your care when you're that driver of that vehicle. And so they're trying to throw me in the Hummer and they're saying, you know, come on, we need you to be still. Had no idea it was a hole in my face. And I'm saying, where are my people? And they're saying, your people okay? And I'm saying, no, I need to see them because I was in command and control, wanting to see for myself that everyone was okay. So they said, brought them around to the Hummer, let her see your face, show her that you're okay, weapon in tow, never had it on safe, I'm ready to get in position, we're at war. And so finally, I feel something sticky and wet on my face, and I put my hand up here, something I write. Every time I need to talk, I had to bring my chin up and talk through my teeth, and it's like, couldn't process it all because the adrenaline is flowing, we're at war. And so finally, the MPs come and they're like, we need a medic, and I'm saying, who got hit? Still had no idea it was me. I'm the one and only injured person from that explosion. And I still thank God because I didn't want to have to tell that story, give that explanation, or write that memo to my commander about what went down with someone else that I was responsible for. They got me over to Troop Medical Division, and I'm like, this is real. This is war. This is real. And I started taking pictures. I had a camera, and the staff thought, you know, how in the world could she be thinking about pictures? Well, I have a medical background. I worked as a nurse at DC General 13 years. And I know immediately when you're injured, 5 to 10 minutes later, the injury starts healing, whether it's healing properly or not. So someone needs to see the onset of that injury even after the fact. We need pictures. We're in the desert, it's dirty. Dirt flying, no matter how much you use hand wipes, you're dirty. And so I wanted someone to be able to have some kind of documentation, some kind of record of, and for myself, what the injury looked like, because I kept asking for a mirror, they wouldn't give me a mirror. So I'm taking record for myself as well. So fast forward, I was flown to Germany within 24 hours from the emergency room at the Baghdad hospital, flown to Germany. From Germany, I was flown to here, Walter Reed, which was home for me. Not home for most who get injured at war, any war, but it was home for me. And by the way, I was born at Walter Reed. My father was a Marine. So immediately when I get to Walter Reed, I said, Lord, I was born here. I don't want to die here. Because part of my injury was 1/8 of an inch from my carotid, was shrapnel. So I have a broken jaw, chin down to my chest, hole in my face the size of a golf ball. But I had no idea my head was swollen. I got glass in both eyes. Didn't know. My chin strap was blown off. My Kevlar was still on my head. My flak vest was on, but we weren't privy to the metal that goes in the flak vest. Thank God I'm here to tell my story. I was that close to being severely wounded, and at every turn, my protection, which didn't seem to be enough, still was enough for me because it was a higher power that was meant for me to be able to come back to tell my story. Before I got out of that truck, I said, Lord, you know my prayer, but I've been telling you since day one, I'm going home the same way I came. See, some people said, if I could just go home with one arm, or two arms, or one leg, or if I could just live with no limbs. That wasn't my story. That wasn't my prayer. I said, God, I'm a little selfish over here. I have faith and I believe, but I'm going to ask for what I want. What I want is to go home with all my parts. I want both hands, both feet, 10 fingers, 10 toes, both ears, eyeballs, vision. See, I believe you get what you ask for. Some people say, I can live without my vision because I can still see. That's not my prayer. That wasn't what I asked for. So God gave me what I asked for, and I just thank God that I'm able to come here today to be a part of the DAV because I wasn't mentally ready 10 years ago when I came back. People said, join my lodge, join my committee, join my... I wasn't ready. I still had to process what had happened to me. Yeah, I'll be a member, I'll come out, I'll join, I'll look, I'll talk, I'll see, I'll attend, and I did, but it began to be too much because I needed to take care of me. I went through a lot mentally, and it took me a long time to really process that was war, because before I got out of my truck, I blinked both eyes, I turned my head left and right, I was making sure nothing fell off. But it happened in a split second. I shrugged my shoulders. I reached across, touched both arms. I did a full pat down. I told you I was a nurse. So I quickly processed everything. Wiggled my toes. I said, don't let this be one of them phantom things. If I get out of this truck and fall and something didn't come with me, Lord, just let me stay here because I ain't going home unless I got everything I came with. I didn't know what my story was going to be at that time, but I knew what to ask for, and I stayed honest and true to what I wanted. I wanted everything. I'm a little vain, but I apologize in my prayer every time, Lord, you know. We all have our ways. We all have things we want, don't want, can live without, or whatever. I want my toenails, my fingernails, my skin. I want it all. And if I'm selfish, then forgive me, because we all have our imperfect ways. Mine is, I want to be that story, but I want to be able to give you the glory because I believe that I can receive whatever it is I asked for. I wanted what I wanted. I wanted to come home to my children. My baby was 6 months old. My husband, my mother, my sister took care of my children. She didn't know me when I came home. I looked like a monster. My head was swollen, bandaged. We bonded through a straw. She don't even remember. I had to drink everything, all meals. Came through a straw. My husband bring her to the hospital. She's like, who can blame her? I look a hot mess. I'm in a yellow gown quarantine. I come from a foreign land exposed to white phosphorus and everything, raw waste, you name it. I was exposed to it. They had to quarantine me and make sure I was okay to be back in this population where they took us from in the first place, to be deployed. And so it was through a straw we bonded. I would say, bring me a shake. My husband would say, get your mommy the shake. I'm talking through my teeth. You want to share with mommy? She looking like, who was mommy? It took some time. But fast forward today, I thank you for the invitation. I would love to join your lodge. I have the chapter. Help me with the terminology. I'm going to get it right, and I'm going to fill out my credentials, send them in. Hopefully you accept my application and whatever it is that I need to do to help with whatever else is going on. I want to be a part of this chapter, DAV. Again, my name is Antoinette Scott, and I thank you for the invitation. Thank you.